good? What's good? Name's Oscar Rodriguez, aka Masterpeace, owner and founder of Chozen Creators. Now, the thing is that I made a video basically describing about my 2013 book. This is part two. This is part two because I want to finish exactly that type of message. I do have a website. I still got a storefront, right? I am, the creator of Zain's Masterpeace, the 2013 book, Night. He has a story. He has, many more other stories ahead. This is like, you could say the beginning of my universe because, the Zane's Basically Rise is first, the title is going to change because, at that time, I was writing a bunch of stories and 13 years ago, I really felt like, and I still believe that that's the flagship of my whole big franchise that I'm trying to deliver. I'm trying to deliver the universe, right? The universe of my creation of that particular character, but also many other characters that I wrote stories for. The type of stories that you guys are going to see is mostly like a dark fantasy anime. Reason why, I like that is because, those guys, I feel like it's a very great emotional setup with the type of art. And then, me being edgy and I like the type of fights, like I'm inspired by the Dragon Ball Z's, the supercharged, like overcoming challenges. That's kind of like is a mixture of what I'm writing, right? Just to give you a broad idea, and I'm really trying to work very hard so I could release the first, short story of that book, right? Which the title will soon be revealed. But I could say Knight because he is licensed, I own him. So he is Knight, Zain lore, so I'm just very excited, very excited. So the website is Patreon. You could be a free member. Be a free member, see what's going on. Now, the paid members, you're going to see what's behind the scenes, meaning like the sketches, the ink work, or maybe, parts of the story that might change, So, people that are very interested in lore, you're going to love my type of book because my book is very structured. It's like these characters were worked on for 20 years, meaning I went back and forth with them. And then at the same time, rewriting them, I probably made them like 5 different sisters, 5 different brothers. No, let's just fix that. No, he only has 2 brothers. Creator's life, with a bunch of nice big block of, writer's block. But the best thing about it is that I draw the stuff, I sketch the stuff, I write the stories of it. So I kind of have control of almost kind of everything. But the only thing is that I want to, try to do music too. I'm going to get a system. I'm going to try it because I envision, saying